All right, guys, Glenn Cunningham here in Central Arkansas, and today I have a treat for you guys. We have Kristen McCready with us today, and we have Kerry Ellison, which is our principal broker and our operating partner. So here they are. So let's get into this. Yeah, first of all, thank you all so much for joining us today.
Sure.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, let's get this going. Let's take it from the very beginning. How long have you guys been in this crazy game?
Almost 32 years. You too? We started the same year.
Yeah, I started June of 1994.
May of 1994. I beat you by a month.
You did? Ooh. I did not know that.
May.
Okay.
Wow. I was June.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So good deal. So how did you get into real estate? What did you do before that? What led you here?
I did all kinds of things. I had my insurance license and realized very quickly that was not going to be for me. My dad was an insurance salesperson, had a company, but my mom was a realtor and was having a lot of success with that, and so I got my real estate license and went to work.
First of all, she still is a realtor.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Sorry, Mom.
That's right. She's like, what?
Then I meant, yes. Yes.
Cool.
Already gonna get flack.
She's
already out.
She's still the boss. We know.
She's still the queen.
Yes. She's still the queen.
Yes, she is.
That's right.
Yes, she is.
And Kerry, what about you?
I moved to Little Rock. I got divorced, and I moved to Little Rock in 1993, and went into. I'd been a travel agent for years. Loved being a travel agent. Loved to travel, and I realized I couldn't support. I was a single mom, couldn't support a baby on that, and went into a telemarketing of all things job because I only worked from 9 to 3. And I could take less daycare, and I had 3 weeks off in the summer, and I had 2 weeks shut down at Christmas and a week at Thanksgiving, and I paid a base salary plus commission. And I didn't mind talking to people. So I went into telemarketing, and it's probably the best thing I ever did.
Good training.
Great training. It taught me sales 101. And so, and I stayed in that job for probably a year, and moved up the ranks in salesperson, did all that, and then my son got the chicken pox, and they told me they were going to have to let me go because I couldn't stay at home with them. And I'd used up all my vacation days, and I didn't have anywhere to take them, single mom. So my mom sat me down and said, you need to get into a business that's going to pay you a commission. You need to get into insurance or real estate.
Yeah.
And I was
options.
Dating some guy at the time who bought a house from Neil Morale and said, you need to get into real estate and go see her. So I did.
Let me tell you a funny story. When the year that we started and met each other, probably pretty off the bat, because we were some of the youngest people, I would be coming home at midnight from the bar.
Yeah.
Carrie would still be at Rainey Realty with her child working, and I would drive by and go, oh man, I could do better. I could be doing more. But it's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
I was about to say you were leaving the bar and I was still there. That's what I thought you were going to
No,
say.
you were at the office. Yeah. I was trying to get home.
Yeah.
Yes.
I worked a lot in the beginning to get it up and going. I had to. There was no support for me. My mom didn't have any money. My dad didn't have any money, and it was me or me.
Yeah. Some things never changed. When I took this role, her car was the first one in the parking lot when I got here.
And she had her child with her.
Yeah, and as frequently, she's still the last one here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's just Carrie.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless I'm on the golf course.
I was about to say, you used up a little bit.
You have mellowed.
I have mellowed.
Yeah, mellowed a little bit.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. This one's not in here, but I just had a question. So Kerry, you helped start Keller Williams here. And so out of all the options that you had, from all the big flagship names to maybe partnering with a smaller boutique or even just launching your own independent, why KW out of all those options?
You know, and the crazy thing is, I took a lot of flack when we opened KW. People came to me saying, you did this to Rainey, you tore us down, you did. I got all the beat up and the stuff, and it wasn't me. I had somebody from inside Rainey approach me and say, I think this would be a good fit for you. I was a CRS, I love to learn, I was always doing coaching, I was always trying to do something different. And this agent at our office said, you need to go talk to this guy named Dick Dillingham, who was a CRS instructor, and sat down, went to lunch with him, and I knew from that point on it was there. We at Rainey had been dissatisfied with a few things, and we were looking for an opportunity, and it just happened to fall in in our hands, and it was appealing to me because it was a capping model, where Rainey was a capping model. Most companies around here were not at the time. And it was education based, and it was team building, which I had built a team successfully, fallen apart, built a team, fallen apart. So I was looking for that education and that avenue to teach me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Keller Williams provided to me.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Yeah, same question for you. Why KW?
I really don't know. I'll tell you, the way it happened for me was there were 2 local recruiters here, and my Aunt Robin Prather was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And she called us at Adkins McNeil Smith, where I had been for 12 years, had zero desire to go anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, I've started this new career with this new company. Would you let me kind of practice on y'all? And would you come? And we were like, sure. I mean,
She's your aunt.
really? I mean, you say yes. It's Aunt
Sure.
Robin. You just say yes, you'll go. So me and Mom and Cindy Cole and a couple of us went. And we left that first meeting and we were laughing. We were like, this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
This is never going to work. There's no way they're ever going to be a Janet Jones or a Marceline Girard or a, RPM. It's just not, this model is not going to work here. And I had a business partner, Cindy Cole at the time, who was one of the agents who opened Chenal Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant, creative, out of the box thinker. And about a week later, she goes, I've been thinking about this Keller Williams thing. And I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, yeah, I really am. I think I want us to go have a second meeting. And I'm like, do you know how much trouble that's going to be? We're going to have to change our signs. She's like, we're not going to go there. We're just going to go ask some more questions. And we walked into that very first office over there on, not Arcade, but Rainwood. And I don't know what happened. 15 minutes in, Dana walked out of the office. We were sitting there. And she looked at me and I looked at her and we were like, this is where we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that simple. We literally drove back to our office, set a meeting with our people, told them what we were doing, and I think we were moved in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
It happened that fast. And I'm still not sure exactly what happened. It was
It
like
just felt right, yeah.
something clicked in both
Yeah.
of us. She was all about the technology. I was all about the culture, and I don't remember if the win-win and all the things
Yep.
were on the wall there or not.
I'm sure there were.
But remember how adversarial real estate was?
Oh my
Back then,
gosh.
it was cutthroat. It was competitive. You didn't share any information. You didn't tell anybody anything because they would go get your business.
Yeah.
And in every transaction, there was a winner and there was a loser.
Mm-hmm.
And the harder you fought, maybe the more you were the winner, but not always. But both of my parents had always taught me to do the right thing. Work like you don't need the money.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should walk away feeling a certain positive way. And when I walked in Keller Williams and there was literally written on the wall all the stuff I had been taught, which was opposite
Yep.
of what our business was at the time, I was like, that's so familiar to me and comforting, and that makes sense to me. It was practical, and it struck Cindy that way too, and we were like, okay, this is it. So it was the simplest decision.
Yeah.
Scary, because I was leaving my mom,
Sure.
leaving the people who raised me in this business, and I didn't think twice about it after that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like we always say, we're an experiential company. Like, you have to experience it to get it.
You do.
Right.
And you can, and I think we still continue to get it.
Mhm.
It's layers and layers of things that we didn't even know that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like peeling an onion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the funny things, Cindy and I were talking as we were making the transition, and into ourselves, we're like, we're going to teach these people. We're going to go in there. What are they going to offer us? I mean, it's Naomi Rao. She's the queen. She's the rock star. It's Becky Finney. It's, it's all these people. We considered, even me, stupidly, to be equals, that we were going to go over there and be an asset, and we were going to teach them, and we were going to be, we had no idea what we didn't know.
Right.
But that was the beauty of leaving a traditional,
Yep.
and at the time, Adkins McNeil Smith was 100% company, the only one in town,
Yeah.
which was totally a new concept. But we just had no idea the level of knowledge and science, and we just didn't know what we didn't know. It was extremely humbling, let me tell you.
That's cool.
Yeah. And we worked like dogs those first years.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking back, what were some of the biggest challenges in the early days getting this thing going?
The vast amount of work, because everybody did everything.
Yeah.
There was, how many
true.
of us? 30 of us?
Yeah, maybe. We had to
Maybe.
have 20 to open.
Yeah.
And that was our number. So when we really first got started, the first group of us would huddle at a conference room at our little suite. We had a suite about this size that we all worked out of. And we would go in there and brainstorm once or twice a week because we had to get 20. We couldn't open. And we had to get 20. So that was it. And we were Keller Who.
Yeah.
You know, nobody had ever heard of us,
No.
and we were Keller Who. And I think nobody believed us, if that makes
I
any
didn't.
sense. It was such a foreign concept in this market that nobody believed what we were saying.
Yeah.
And we called it drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
You know, that we really do share our ideas. We really do, as opposed to being adversarial.
Right.
We bring you in and say, we're doing this works, you need to try it.
Yes.
And
It was
everybody's looking at
foreign.
you like you're
Yeah.
lying.
It was almost one of those too good to be true. Like you're like, really? Yeah, because the people that I worked with and you worked with were
Yeah.
wonderful people.
They were.
They weren't bad. It's just the way the business was.
Yeah.
And so this concept comes in and says we share everything. Our books are open. You can ask us anything. We're going to tell you. We want, the better you are, the better we are. And we're like,
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
That was so foreign to everybody else.
Yeah.
They're like, that's never going to work.
But the hope that it might be possible was enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's talk about milestones. Over the last 20 years, biggest achievements, biggest milestones, what pops out?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I think that I have just found a healthy balance, a way to fund my life, the life that I want to have. I don't do $1 billion a year, but that's not the life that I chose. And I feel very peaceful and very proud of the way I do my business and the ability to still work, but be a mom, be a wife. Todd travels, and he always has our whole marriage. So it was important that I be there for Mackenzie's tennis games and PTA meetings and parent, all those things. And this business has allowed me to have that life, and I'm very thankful and grateful. And but when I think about how we started together and the things that you've accomplished, and I've said this to you, but I'm so proud of that.
Yeah.
Because I had an easy entry. My mom was the person, right? I just took whatever she didn't want to do. I had a very easy entry. But to think about you being up there at midnight with that kid and you're working your guts out and lots of builders. She handled builders like a boss. I don't know. I just think that what you have built and accomplished here has given so many of us an opportunity, what you helped start, but what you've continued, you included, that what we have now is just a wonderful, happy place to be.
Well, thanks. We're looking forward to our Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yeah,
too.
girl.
That's right.
I got the dressing already made.
That's right.
So I think milestones for me, I almost think this is going to sound funny, but failures.
For
Because
sure.
I had this new Keller Williams thing, building the team. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right. And I did this, and I built my whole business on builders. And then we hit 07, 08.
Yeah.
And all my
Yeah.
builders went bankrupt, and no homes were selling. And I made less money than people were on my salary on my team. And I remember going, I got to eat, So that was a huge, impactful time in my business to where I realized I had gone down to something called MREA Boot Camp, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Boot Camp, which was 3 classes of the MREA building blocks. And I realized on an economic modeling that I could work half the time and not do new construction and make more money and not be at the office at midnight dealing with builders, helping build homes.
Right.
And that was a huge eye-opening turn for me because nobody had ever taught me how to convey my value or how to build the business in a different way. I just worked hard. I just put my head down and worked hard. I didn't have a choice. And that was a huge building block, was when I had to tear the team down and start over. And I think anybody who has been in business or built a business, it's never straight up. It's never you just go straight up. You have to go here, you go back, and then you go back up again.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at that, that's helped the failures I've had along the way have helped me to get to the point where we're building this properly.
Yeah.
And there's always failures, and the only way you have a failure is if you don't learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
So rebuilding the team once again, excited about putting it together, and going from there.
Yeah.
I remember the class that you taught, I don't remember when, and the realization that you had when you went from making 4% on new construction
Right?
to 7%.
Yeah. On
And you
existing
were like,
homes.
what have I been doing all these years?
That
It
was
was
it.
something that simple, but
Yep.
somebody else just needed to put that in front of you.
And nobody had ever taught me.
Yeah.
It was just ignorance.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Back to that.
And it just went back to learning that other people are doing this. I don't need to recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
I just need to go copy what somebody else is doing. I'm a master at ripping off and duplicating. And that's why I think I love this company so much, because it's taught me not to recreate the wheel, but go get a copy of it and then mold it to what we do and do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So looking back though, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give yourself if you rolled the tape back 20 years?
I think it took me a long time to understand to quit being entrepreneurial.
That's good.
And I think that,
What do you mean by that though?
what I mean by that, I was just doing a meeting with one of our staff today on this, is that understanding that there's a book called The One Thing for a Reason, and starting something and stopping it and completing it's very powerful. And those of us, I crack up every time I talk to an agent. They're like, well, I'm ADD, I'm ADHD. I'm like, well, get in line. We all are, or we wouldn't be
Why
in
do you
this
think we all
business.
ended up in this building?
And so when I look at that, I think, and it's funny because I was on a mastermind with Gary Keller in the top 100 market centers, which we're still in, which is amazing, about he repeats himself over and over again. And I'm like, yeah, it just took me like 10 or 12 times to get it. I wish I would have been able to have picked that up a little quicker.
Right.
There's some marketing things I wish I would have grabbed onto. We can all look back going, I wish I would have done that. And I think those are my big things. They always say slow to hire, quick to fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I might have believed in people more than they believed in themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe put the people in the wrong seat in the wrong place for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Which
You're
is always,
optimistic.
yeah, I always believe the best in everybody.
You do.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And sometimes that's hard.
I
It's
know,
hard to reconcile on the other side.
I know.
Yeah.
But everything happens for a reason.
For sure.
And I think going back, I'm sitting here today because of what I went through the last 20 years. And if I wouldn't have gone through that, I don't think I'd be here today.
Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you?
I think I would have preferred that I be less afraid to succeed. We've had that talk.
Yeah.
We were always workers and doers at my house. You know, Daddy would come home from work and he would eat dinner and then he would go volunteer here. Mom would clean up the kitchen, do the laundry, and then she'd go volunteer. We worked and we worked and we did. But I don't know that I ever really believed that I could. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like you just do the work because that's what you've always done, but you don't expect to confirm the success. And and that doesn't mean $1 million a year or it does. It's not about the number, the volume, or it's about just succeeding at your chosen whatever's in front of you that day. Did you do a good job today? It's as simple as that. But when you aren't quite sure that you can or you deserve, it's hard. Kerry, I mean, we've had that conversation many times and she's like, stop it. Of course you can. Of course you deserve. But you don't, you just do, and you forget to recognize the why. And how many times have we all said, what's your big why? I don't think I knew the answer to that for a long time. I just don't think I ever thought about it. Not because I didn't have one. it just never occurred to me that it was my choice to succeed or fail. And whatever that looked like was completely up to me.
It's a big idea.
That's a powerful moment when you're like, oh, I can do this. I can do it at a high level with help from whoever, whatever. And I deserve the reward of what that means. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah, no doubt. I love that. So we just hit 20 years as a brokerage here. This might be a loaded question, but what has changed over the last 20 years with real estate in Arkansas, the market? Like, how have you seen it morph and change?
Gosh, how long do we have, right?
Right. What you talking about what's changed in the last 12 months, and it would take 10 minutes.
I mean, so many changes with the market, so many rule changes, so many law changes, all those things. I think our company, that's one of the things that I really appreciate about you guys, our staff, is that you anticipate the changes in our market, in our environment, in our profession, and you find tools to help us not just navigate but succeed when the change happens. I love that, because how many have we had? When we started, there was no buyer's agency.
Yeah.
That was not even a thing. I think our community as a whole, realtor-wise, has become a kinder, less cutthroat, competitive. Certainly, I think our Keller Williams has helped shape that, because we share our ideas with everybody, even other companies. You know, we invite them to our thing. I think that has helped. Not that it's just us, but I think we have a more educated community to work in, which I appreciate.
I remember I would go to trainings and bring back, and everybody would go, that'll never work here, that'll never work here. And I remember when back in when we were opening here in the 2005, 2006, and we didn't have showing time. We didn't have a showing service. The one we had was awful, so nobody used it. And you used to have to set appointments by calling the front desk. And then we had Robin set all the appointments for the office. I mean, that was almost a full-time job.
For sure.
And so we signed up with something called e-showings or showing something, and it changed the whole way we did business in Central Arkansas. And it was a great showing service. People loved it, and they started using it. The next thing we did that we brought to the market was virtual tours. We would go in and do photos and stitch the photos together.
I remember that.
And we started virtual tours.
Yep.
Some cutting edge stuff right there.
I know, I'm telling you, it was big in the day.
Very fancy.
It was crazy,
Yeah.
you know, and I think it's been everything from that to the staging of homes. I think there's a huge difference in staging of homes. I think there's also a lot of education that we have been blessed to have through Keller Williams that we've shared about where we are in the market, what the market is doing. Are we in a buyer's market, a seller's market? But more importantly, what does that mean to a client?
Yeah.
You know?
E-signing has changed our life.
Oh my gosh.
How many times do we write a contract on the hood of our car at midnight?
Oh, I know.
Or 7 o'clock
And carbon
on a
copy.
Saturday morning.
Carbon copy.
Carbon copy. They were 4 pages long.
That's right.
I remember when we got our first fax machine.
Oh, I know.
Remember that?
We used to write Social Security numbers on
We
contracts.
did. All your info was out there for all the world to see. Yeah, there was
It was
no.
scary. I know.
Yeah.
And then
and the MLS actually being on the computer. That was obviously it's so easy now. It's just so easy. It's just so easy.
And it's so different now, because whenever I'm teaching a class, I will always say, back in the day, if you wanted to buy a home, you came in, you sat down, and we had a worksheet to qualify you. We knew how much money you made. We know what your credit card payments were and your car payment, and we would qualify you sitting there.
So you as the agent
Yeah.
were tasked with that. It wasn't just go talk to a lender. It was like, let's work through this.
Oh no, we had a worksheet. All of our offices had worksheets, and you sat down and did it. And then you would fax off their info to get a credit report for the loan officer.
Oh.
And then
But that's after you showed them 10 or 12 houses. Because we didn't know we were supposed to do that
Right.
before you showed the houses.
I know.
Right.
And then we'd get our books out.
We'd get our MLS books that were 2 weeks old. You got them every
And
2
they were
weeks.
paper thin with
Yeah.
black and white photos of the front.
So you walked around with black hands and black faces all the time because you were constantly,
And
Yeah.
then the cell phone. Remember the car phones? When we went from pagers to car phones, we had bag
We
phones.
had a bag phone that weighed
Fancy.
17 pounds.
Oh
I had a Honda Accord 5-speed with the sunroof, and so there I am with my 5-speed, my bag phone, my cigarette, my lipstick, my drink, and finally I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I remember pulling over using payphones.
Oh, girl, same.
I remember having money in my things.
A map.
Oh, I know,
You had
a map.
in your car. Mm-hmm.
I used to know, I got to the point I was a walking map. I jokingly said I didn't need anything because I knew all the addresses in my head.
I mean, by now we
Yeah.
should.
Well,
But in the MLS, you know how we have directions now, and you just put GPS 505 Cherry Hill. Everybody knows, right? No, it was go to the second light by the blue house, turn left, go down 2.5 blocks by the yellow house, turn right, and then it'll be the second one. I mean, that's what it would say
yeah.
because you didn't have a way to find it. It was
Yeah.
You know, there's some
hilarious.
listeners to this right now that don't know what a payphone is. Okay, so that's where you used to put coins in a phone. You could talk on it.
They're still out there
Yeah,
occasionally.
yeah, and you mentioned something too about a 5-speed. Those are anti-theft devices
Oh.
these days. Hey, you know that? Like,
Along with the rotary phone. That's right. Nobody knows how to do that.
that's right. That's
Well, and the last thing I'll say about this is back in the day, if somebody wanted to sell a home, you would tell them where you were going to go look. I mean, they had no idea. They might have an idea of a subdivision, but you had the data, so you were the gatekeeper.
yeah,
And now the gatekeeper is them.
Yeah.
right.
So
That's so true.
the whole dynamic is switched
Flipped.
to where you've got to be more marketing based with your homes. Because now it's a buyer saying, "No, I don't want to look at that," or "Yes, I do."
Yeah.
Your job is to hook the buyer online to get him in the home.
Yeah. They
And-
didn't have a clue what was out there.
No.
And if we didn't think it fit them, whether they thought it or not, they didn't even know it was available.
Yeah,
We
they
were
had
like,
no
oh, they're
clue.
going to hate that one. Oh, no. I mean, it just wasn't,
Yeah.
they didn't have any options. We were so in control
Yeah.
and in charge of, which was kind of scary.
Yeah. I think about it
Knowing
now.
what we know now,
Wow.
because it just wasn't available. They could come in and sit down and look at the book with you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or the newspaper. The Sunday paper was a huge thing.
Or Homes and Land.
Homes and Land magazine,
Yep.
that's right. But if it wasn't in the Sunday paper, it didn't exist.
Mm-mm.
And you spent thousands of dollars on
Yeah.
advertising in the Sunday paper.
Yep. You
Yeah,
did.
it was the biggest expense we had.
Yeah.
you
It was
know.
crazy.
It
And
was
phone
crazy.
books. Oh my God. Phone books. We used to pay so much money to be in the yellow pages.
It's true.
It is, and have our oh yes, the yellow pages.
I think one of my first big checks I got, I was on the shopping carts at the Kroger.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I was single then, and I think I might have dated that rep. I can't remember. But it was like anything to get a cheaper rate. You know, I'll give you 3 stores for $2,200. Well, that was like could have been $1 million back in this, right? But it was for a year, and you got 3 stores, and your face was on every
Shopping cart. Oh my gosh.
My goodness.
And we had I don't know if you did. I had no idea about how to track what came. I mean, I have no idea if I ever sold a house because of that or not. But I just paid my little $1,100 every 6 months, and that was that. And I mean, literally, that could have been like $1 million for me then, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you just got out there however you could get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on bus benches.
You were,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I remember.
We may have to skip this next question we're going to talk about. I was going to ask, give me a favorite memory or a funny story. I've been hearing funny stories for 10 minutes now.
There's so many.
Yeah. right.
Yeah.
You got anything else? Any favorite memory? Any other funny stories coming up?
I think one of my favorite memories, we had the first Keller Williams Christmas party at my house. And we hadn't lived there for very long. I don't think I had any dining room furniture. We just everybody like brought a chair, and we sat around and ate sandwiches and just had the best time. But every Christmas party after that, for probably 5 or 6 years, was at somebody's house.
Yeah.
And the entertainment would be, Mackenzie and I would sing Let It Snow.
Oh, that's
And it was the big, it was the big finale of the Christmas party was Mackenzie singing Let It Snow. And to think about what we were
Yeah.
and where we didn't have any money to go rent a place,
No,
or
no.
everybody
It
just
was
brought
potluck.
and you came and you sat around, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I miss that a little bit sometimes, but there were some funny, like I remember Kathy and Randy having that dinner party trying to get Mom to come over.
Yeah.
And who was the guy they brought in? Rick, what was his name? Rick?
Oh, was it Mike Brody?
No. Well, he was there, but there was another guy.
Oh, Rick. Yes. Rick
Jihad.
Jihad. Rick Jihad.
And Kathy and Randy had made this real fancy dinner, and they had flown in all the people to try to get Mom to come over. And she was like, So at the very end, she was like, all right, well, where do I sign up? And we all were like, oh, thank God. It was crazy. There's so many fun things, though. I mean,
yeah.
Mackenzie came to everything.
Mm-hmm.
She was an ALC member. She graduated Bold. Because I didn't have any healthcare, kid care. Because Todd was traveling, and she was kind of the KW baby for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of good people have come in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're singing at this Christmas party. Is that what's happening?
Oh, I don't think so. That was a long time ago. But that was a fun. It was just like a little family.
Yeah.
You know, there was such a small group that we all knew everything that was going on in everybody's lives. And if somebody got sick, you went and you did their business, or you fed their dog, or brought them food. That's just how it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just, it was awesome. It was wonderful. Way to start our company with.
Yeah. Any other good memories?
No, I mean, I think one of my first memories was all of us loading up and going to Wichita.
Oh, Lord.
Driving 7 hours in a car. All the road trips we took to Kansas City and Wichita.
It's still happening.
I know. It was just, you know, good God, we'd get in Carl's big old SUV.
Oh, yeah.
The Rocket.
The Rocket.
And pray for our lives.
We would.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least we wear seatbelts now.
And we would go there and we would look around and we'd be like, one of these days, we could be like that. You know, you don't think it's possible, but then you go to those things and you see an office with 300 or 400. I remember when we hit 100 people.
Oh, yeah.
Because I never, ever thought that would happen. Never thought that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it was to go see other cities that had already crossed that. It was pretty exciting times. Yeah.
I think probably the most impactful thing that I ever went to was my first Keller Williams meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going into it, Celeste O'Neill and I were there, and it was called FSO, Franchise Systems Orientation, and Mo was teaching it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going out to the hallway and calling Neo Morale on a payphone, saying, you don't have to work 100 hours a week.
Yeah.
They are telling me we don't have to work this
We
hard.
don't have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to do it like this. There's a better way, and they'll show us how to do it. And you need a vacation. You deserve a vacation.
Yeah.
You deserve to take Christmas off and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I remember making that call thinking, I'm either really, really, really drinking the Kool-Aid or this really is going to work. I don't know which one, but
Either
I'm going to give
really
it a whirl.
gullible or I'm fixing to be really, really happy.
Yep. And
Right.
I think it's the latter.
For sure.
The first family reunion I went to, I don't remember why we got on the subject. Mo, or what was the other lady's name? Kind of short or short hair. Anyway, it doesn't matter. One of the big wigs was up there and they were talking about trying to get insurance for Keller Williams.
Yeah.
And so after that session was over, I just walked right up to Mo Anderson, not having any clue what I was doing. I'm like, hey, I'm Kristen, and my dad sells insurance, and I think I can help you work this out. And the other lady was like, and I'm like, no, really, I think we can work this out. So you just call me Mo, okay? And she did.
Are you serious?
She did.
Yeah.
And my dad took insurance to Keller Williams.
Wow, no joke. I didn't know that.
Yep. I was so ignorant, and I didn't know who they were. I didn't understand the Mo. I didn't get the whole weight of them. And I'm just like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Well, come on, you call me, we'll talk. And then she called me.
Yeah.
I was
Gary
like,
Keller's
holy cow.
in person.
It was amazing. Yeah,
That's great.
pretty crazy.
All right, two more. All right, so what principles or philosophies guide you as whether it's a broker, an owner, seasoned agent? What would you say to that?
I try to live my entire life by the golden rule. That's just the way, treat others as you want to be treated. I do that in my personal life. I certainly do it in my professional life, but I think we all, and we've talked about this many times, when you lead with a servant's heart,
Yeah.
and you always, you do the right thing even when it's the hard thing, and you work like you don't need the money, you put your client's interest above your own, you never have to worry that you're gonna have enough business.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean every year's gonna be easy, it's certainly not. But more often than not, you will have more business than you can say grace over, because people know that you connect with them on a real personal human, and they trust you. And I think that's the bottom line. For what we do, if we're not trustworthy, if people don't have confidence in our abilities to do the right thing, we cannot operate.
100%.
So it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I agree. The win-win or no deal. And I think it's integrity, do the right thing. And I think the clients always come first. And I think that, I think some agents put themselves in positions where they have to make the wrong decisions. And our goal here is to always, the client always comes first. You know, and it's win-win or no deal.
That's right.
And I think those are the simple things, and everything else you said.
And once you internalize that, you don't find yourself in those hard situations very often. Not saying never, but very rarely do I find myself in a situation. I mean, I've called Kerry more in the last 3 months, I think, than I have in the last 5 years, just because weird stuff has happened. And after this many years, to encounter something new is like, didn't see that coming. But it's not a hard choice of what to do when you find yourself in that situation. I think that's part of what I think I love about this company so much, is that they just instill that. And then it becomes not an issue, it's just like muscle memory.
It's like what Mo always says, just do the right thing.
Just do the right thing.
Yeah.
Simple.
It may not be the easiest,
Right.
but it's not it's not a hard choice.
Right. Makes sense. All right, last one. What strategies are you guys using to stay successful? We've seen a lot of change over the last few years. This market is different than last year. So what's working now for you to stay on top?
You go first with that one.
I think I've got a two-pronged approach here. Number one, I look at it from the office side, from Keller Williams as a brand, from what we're doing. We are really embracing AI. I am so excited. We have our new tech trainer who is phenomenal, and we have implemented and are in the process of implementing so much AI so that we simplify things for people, and we are clear, and we have better customer service, you know, to our clients who are the agents. And I think that's a huge component to where we're going. And then as we're sitting here today, the social media side, you know, which being on film, doing the right things, letting people know our story where we author it versus somebody else. And that's one thing I would say we've been guilty of in the years, is that we don't tell our story enough, and we do not author our own story. Other people do.
They assume a lot.
They do. And it's amazing of the things I've heard we do. I'm like, wow, that's really neat.
That's exciting.
I was like, wow, okay. I was like, wow. And then some of the things I hear other people do, I'm like, wow, that's really interesting to do. Unique.
Yeah.
That's very unique. So I think embracing technology versus running from it. I'm not a spring chicken in the world today. I am north of the younger age group. However, I like to surround myself with young people that understand that where we're going and what technology can do for us.
That's awesome.
And I think on the team building side, I think it's always the same as giving back to the clients. Always making it a positive customer experience. Always doing the right thing for them, making sure that they're making the right choices financially, and making sure that you're giving back to the community. We're doing our annual coat drive right now. You guys just had your big animal rescue fundraiser.
Yeah.
I think it's huge to be a servant and give back to the community, because we've been so blessed.
We have.
And giving back is one of the biggest things, and then taking care of your clients. I know we've had a dynamic shift in the way we do business, in the fact that we want our customers to have a 5-star customer experience, as opposed to you're just buying a home. And I think and hope that we have been able to educate and share that with our clients along the way, and they felt it, because it's all about how somebody feels when they're done.
Absolutely.
It's not about what we think or what we do, it's how they feel at the end of a transaction.
People don't call you because of a million reasons. They call you because you made them feel important.
That's right.
And because you made them feel like you were seriously watching out and taking care of them, and that's our job.
Yeah.
Yeah, period.
Yeah. And I know some agents don't share opinions. I just hung up with a client today that said, what do you really think?
Yeah.
And I said, I think you've got a wide range. I think you've got this, but this is my opinion.
Yeah.
And not being afraid to share that, even when the market's very unique like it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we forget sometimes, or I do, that it's not our decision.
No,
We can present the information, but it's up to the client to decide what's right for them.
that's right.
And don't ever substitute my opinion for your own.
That's right.
But take the information I give you and make an educated.
And I think
choice.
that may be something that Keller Williams has really taught me between the education and the language stuff, is that we really do such a great job now at letting people know that it's their decision.
Yeah.
Our opinion may be there, and we
Yeah.
appreciate their asking,
Of course.
but this is their decision in their life.
Yeah.
You know?
I was out of town this weekend, and I was with a group of friends, and I had to have a very difficult conversation with the seller. And an appraisal came in low. We had already given. It was just a difficult transaction. And one of my girlfriends, she was like, you recognize this is not your choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just presenting the information that the market has to offer. This is the reality. And
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you, I needed that. You know, because you forget, because you get personally involved and you're crushed when they're going to have to give up another $5,000 or the whatever happened, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we are simply the conveyors of facts and information and supporters.
Yeah.
We have to do all the things, but I have to sometimes remind myself, it's not my deal.
Yeah.
I'm just facilitating the deal. You know, it's their money, it's their house, I'm just the facilitator of the transaction, but
We are their psychologists, though, along the way.
moms, big sisters, daughters,
Oh,
all the things. But another thing too that I really like about our agents is that my dad used to always tell me that it's very important. Sales is all about relationships, which we all know. But it's not just about the relationships with our clients, it's about relationships with other agents.
yeah.
And maintaining good working friendships, professional on a professional level or whatever, with other people in our community, so that when there's 5 offers on the table, they know if they pick mine, it's going to be a good deal.
Right.
It's going to be a transaction with integrity. I'm going to have my stuff in on, I'm going to do the work. But I think one of the things that sometimes I think we could talk about more is maintaining those friendships outside of a transaction. You know how we do care calls on our people and we do care calls on our clients. We should also do that to other agents. You know, and I forget or I get busy like we all do, but it's important for us to maintain all relationships all the time because our business depends on that.
100%.
Yeah, and I love that we preach that, teach that here, because it's really the only thing that matters. Because if we don't have the relationships, we don't have the clients, we won't have the business.
That's right.
Yeah,
Full circle.
Full circle. Cool.
here we are, 20 years later.
Yeah, well, we're sitting here. We've been in the business 33 years now.
Yeah,
Right.
Wow.
but 20 years here seems,
Yeah.
I don't know, I just was thinking about this morning and, you know, how I felt about it when it started and how I felt about it in the middle and how I feel about it now. And to think that 20 group,
Yeah.
then it hit 100, then it hit, you know, then we've reached all these milestones and looking at where we are now and what we have now is, it's what when Keller Williams, when you first meet with them, they tell you here's what's possible, and seeing that actually happen, and we're not done.
No.
I mean, we still have a long ways to go and many things to do, but to see it actually, and it seems like yesterday some days, doesn't seem like 20 years, right?
I know. Where's it go?
I mean, it just seems like the other day, Dana was yelling at me to do the blah, 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 and,
I
you know, Carl was driving. Anyway, it's just, it happens before you know it. But watching it succeed is kind of magical a little bit.
Surreal.
It is a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think back when we started?
Yeah.
And we would sit in this little room and we would do this and have this vision, and here we are.
Not even really, I don't know that I ever really believed that it actually could happen. But like I said earlier, the hope that it could was enough.
Yeah.
You know, to be willing to be I was terrified. I thought,
Oh, yeah.
people would call me when I left Atkins McNeil and go, "Have you lost your mind?
Oh, yeah.
Your mother, are you crazy?" And I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Am I? Yeah, I am. I don't know."
Yeah, funny story. I do have to tell this funny story. So I had made the decision to move to Keller Williams, and I was going to lunch with Roy Rainey. He took me to Chenal Country Club to talk me out of moving. And I'm sitting there, and I jokingly say, "Faith, God's got a hand."
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and Roy and I are having this conversation. Who's sitting next to me? Michelle, Kristen, her mom, and it may have been you, Cindy, and your mom.
Maybe.
But you three were sitting next to us at Chenal having lunch while I'm telling Roy we're leaving and I'm opening this company.
Yeah.
And you're at the table right next to me. And I mean, there's no booth that I can have this quiet conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be, and I'm like,
It's out there now.
My God. I was like, of all places for us to go
I
and
know.
for all people to sit next to us.
you.
I was like, this is a sign.
Mm-hmm.
That I think the whole thing happened that way.
Yeah, I would agree.
I really do. I think it was, and yeah, I don't know either. But back then, there was, I don't know how to say this, but you just didn't talk about things.
Yeah,
You did not share information.
yeah.
I mean, Kerry and Naoma and
Becky.
Carl and Becky,
Yeah.
that was, holy cow,
Mm-hmm.
scandalous.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
scandalous.
Oh, yeah.
And bringing this Keller these people are crazy. They got this multi-level marketing,
That's
you know. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're right.
what was the old company where you sold the
Amway.
Amway? It's like
Amway.
Amway for real estate.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible. It's just, and you're like, oh my God. Oh, what's happening? Did you hear? Oh my God. I mean, it was literally like telephone.
Yeah.
And by the time and then not 6 months later, I'm like, hey, Don Dennis, Doug, Cindy and I are taking off.
We're going right down the street. We're going like a block that way.
They were like, you're going to that company, aren't you? You're going to
That
that
company.
that multi-level. I'm like, yeah, but it's not that. And they're like, they were
Yeah.
so sweet. They were very sweet about it. It was a very happy thing, but it was just kind of scandalous.
Yeah, it was.
It really was, and also kind of fun. And it was the first time I had ever really done anything without my mother,
Yeah.
which was scary but very cool.
Yeah. It was great.
It was
So
a
proud.
little independent move for me.
There we go.
You know?
Well, we'll wrap it up. There it is, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this.
Fun memories.
Yeah, this is great.
I